we always play them tough. But again, we got young guys. It's going to be a really, really tough game. I think it's going to be down to the wire. Of course, I'm going with Niners. I'm going 27-21 Niners.
Ooh, I like that.
We can do this. We're going to do this. No, we've been saying since the offseason that we were going to win this game. It didn't matter. We were like, if we lose everything else, we're still going to beat Seattle at home. We're just going to do it. So there's no question.
Are you listening?
Finally, that second win. How long have we waited for that? We were supposed to get it last week, but we got it. We got it. This is the thing. I've not stopped laughing about this. It's funny, after the game, we'd have lost, but another story. But how funny was Shareece Wright being on that field? Why in the world would John Harbaugh put Shareece Wright in a position to make his team fail? Why does he think we got rid of Shareece Wright? He goes right over there, gets a job, and gets abused? If I'm the owner, John, what were you thinking? Do you know the 49ers scored the majority of their points because of Shareece Wrightism? Shareece Wrightisms. The man can't play no football. When he fell down in that end zone, it was just hilarious. Well, just prior to the end zone before Patton picked up that pass. I couldn't laugh like I do now because at the time I was a little nervous, but how funny is that? Thank you, Shareece Wright. He shares a game ball with Colin Kaepernick, our other winner. I wish you could play Baltimore again this season. Really, that's comedy relief. Shareece Wrightism. And speaking of Colin Kaepernick, smooth as glass. Okay, now Colin Kaepernick is getting better. That's 2 games in a row. Colin Kaepernick just looked just awesome. What does this mean? Why didn't they leave him alone a long time ago? Colin is looking like the quarterback we seen in the Super Bowl 3 years. It's been almost 3 years ago. Hitting receivers pretty in stride. That shot to Torrey Smith, I don't care if it was Shareece Wright, it would have been anybody. Beautiful pass. Long yardage. That chemistry is starting to build between Kaepernick and his receivers. If I get started on that, I'll be here for hours. Let me stop. I want to say something about Jarryd Hayne real quick. I think the criticism I'm seeing on my comments, it's too much, okay? He's making a transition from the NRL to the NFL. Give him a time to grow. A lot of people expected him to come over and just dominate immediately. It's not realistic. What he was doing in the beginning of the season, he was doing what an NRL player of his stature should be able to do by making people miss and do the things he does. He has natural talent. Let him make these little mistakes now, as I call it, like it's in his freshman year. Let him make these little mistakes now. They'll all iron out soon, and the real Hayne will emerge. When I say the real Hayne, I'm talking about that Hayne that everybody knows he will be. In fact, I'm telling you right now, Hayne could be in the future, in very near future, one of the best running backs in 49er history. I'm seriously believing that. And the Hawks, the almighty Hawks. Remember, they were picked to be the NFC champs. They were already anointed by all the experts. Not only will they win the NFC, they will win the Super Bowl. Who believes that now? And as bad as they talked about us, we had to sit and endure nasty statements from every network. Who would have thought we'd have the same record as those same almighty Hawks? This is as serious a time as you're gonna get all season long. Fam, this is as real as it gets. Pride is the biggest thing about this game. Whomever loses this game will shoot immediately to the NFC West basement. Winning this game means spitting in the face of every hater and critic that's been bugging us all off season long and even up to now. You turn on your TV and what are they talking about? How bad we suck. And if we beat the Hawks, that is all behind us. And I want to talk to you about that right now. Got my boy Patrick back again, and just in time for the game of the games. Patrick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Ronbo. Just moved to Cali. I love it out here. You know, the weather's great, so I'm just ready for another Niner win, hopefully this week.
And let me ask you this. Did you, in your wildest imagination, a few months ago, would you have thought at this point in the season, we'd be 2-4 equal in record at this particular time? Did you see this coming?
No, I didn't actually. You know, with our division, especially with the Seahawks looking the way they are, you know, it's really, really amazing that Arizona's leading right now. So,
hey, but Patrick, you know, here's the thing about that. We are actually supposed to be 3-3. Last week's game was a low down, dirty fluke. And at the same time, the Seahawks did not beat the Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah.
They did not. So they're supposed to be 1. And they're actually supposed to be 1-5.
Yeah. They got away with that. Calvin Johnson made that catch in the end zone, and Cam Chancellor, the way he hits, man, I was kind of shocked, but it happened. And then who would have expected the hit out of bounds rule? You know, I mean, if that would have came back, Detroit would have got him.
Insane. That's why there's something that goes on at that stadium that can't be explained. Some of the weirdest things in the world have happened right there in that stadium. Sick of it. We lost NaVorro Bowman in that stadium.
Yeah.
I worry about playing in that stadium, man.
Yeah, me too, you know, but I think luckily now they got to come to Levi, so hopefully it'll all turn around.
And speaking of which, we just see Cam Newton came in there and beat the almighty Hawks.
You know what, Ronbo? Cam Newton had 290 yards against Seattle's defense. You know, Seattle's defense, I think, is depleted. You know, without their defensive coordinator that they had that went over to Atlanta, I mean, with Quinn gone, that defense is shuttered.
You just underlined it right there because I've been trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
It's the defensive coordinator that left. That's why they look average, they look beatable, they look mortal, they look anything but omnipotent as they used to.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, if you look at all the players, they still got all the players from last year's team pretty much. So, you know, I mean, it's their defensive coordinator in their scheme this year.
Greg Olsen netted 140 yards.
Yeah.
Now see,
131, I believe, 131.
Yeah. It was Graham that got that. But listen, here's the thing. It used to be that your tight end was not going to come in playing these guys and do anything with Cam Chancellor running back there patrolling like he is. What happened, man?
You know what? I tell you again, I go back to the scheme of things. You know, their new defensive coordinator, of course, he brings a lot in perspective. They play a lot of zone now.
Yeah.
They're not bringing as many people anymore inside the box. So with that being said, they're playing zone and they're just back there lollygagging like it's nothing. But, I mean, you know, Greg Olsen, like I said, he had 131 yards catching. So it was just amazing what Kim and Cam did, especially in Century Link.
That's the thing. Now, Vernon Davis, if for nothing else but a decoy, can we use him and and make Selleck get busy? You know what,
Ronbo? I tell you, man. I mean, I'm a big advocate of Vernon Davis. He came in the league, came from Maryland, had a real strong head. You know, Mike Singletary kind of put him under his wing, kind of molded him up to the person that he is. I just don't see a lot of confidence in him with football anymore. I think, you know, Garrett Selleck, I think that's the way moving forward. And, I mean, as much as I love Vernon, as much as he's done for San Francisco, it doesn't seem like he's in the mix anymore. So, you know, Selleck's been playing great. Hopefully, you know, that kind of transitions over to him being our new tight end.
Now, with you saying that, you know about the trade talks. Would you trade Vernon right now? I mean we're talking about an emotional attachment between the Niner Empire and Vernon Davis, the highest. This is the longest tenured player ever. Are we going to trade him?
Yeah, I do believe so. I think we will once he comes over the injury issue. And, you know, some teams right now are kind of skeptical of trading for him because, number one, his years. He's got some age on him. He's got some ailments with him, you know. So, I mean, if we get anything, it's not going to be a whole lot. But when somebody's suffering for tight end issues this year, he could probably step in and make a transition happen.
Let's go ahead and talk about tight ends because Jimmy Graham and Russell Wilson seem to be getting comfortable all of a sudden. I think that was the biggest production they've seen out of the Graham boy since he got to Seattle.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at Greg Hodges now because I'm a little worried about the coverage in our intermediate routes because you can go through that soft middle and get any number of yards. What are we going to do, man? Is it time to put in the Hodges guy?
I think so. And I'm gonna tell you why. I really, really think so, Ronbo. And the reason why I think so, you think about Greg Hodges, right? Think about him and NaVorro Bowman. Both of them guys have one thing in common. They come from linebacker U from Penn State. Those two individuals coming from Penn State know the scheme of playing linebacker. Wilhoite's a great linebacker. Don't get me misconstrued, but at the same time, you know, Greg Hodges is that Penn State guy that can actually help NaVorro cover inside and not so much allow him to be lateral in the coverage. So right now he's coming back from an ACL tear. It's really, really hard for him to kind of transition laterally. So Greg Hodges brings that in and we'll be a great cover team.
Mark down 1, Patrick, and 2, we both agree. Because, you know, I feel like it was blasphemy to say anything about what's going on in that midst. Because you know what? NaVorro's still healing up. He's liable to be even better by the end of the season, but he needs some help back there, and Wilhoite can't provide it. He did get a pick off this past game, but that was just one of them things. So
Yeah.
Is it going to be a close game?
You know what, Ronbo, we always fight hard with Seattle. You know, I mean, we really, really do. The last time we had them in Candlestick, when Frank Gore busted out that big yard run for us, you know, we always play them tough. But again, you know, we got young guys. It's going to be a really, really tough game. I think it's going to be down to the wire. Of course, I'm going with Niners. I'm going 27-21 Niners.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a battle to the end. I think Cap's going to expose some things, and I think Selleck's going to show up, especially with the Greg Olsen deal from Cam Newton, and allowing Kaepernick to get outside the pocket. I think it's going to be pretty good.
And remember, prime time, Thursday night, Monday nights, Kaepernick. I don't know what kind of chemistry comes over that boy.
I just hope we wear all black. For some odd reason, when we wear all black, we just go berserk. So hopefully that all black thing come back out and we'll put on a show.
You know, I gotta tell you in advance, I already know it ain't, because see, Arizona is supposed to be the all black night. So unfortunately, we'll be out there in the gold and red. But you know what? It's prime time night, and Cap, as I say, he comes out of a bag for that. So maybe we'll be all right.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, Tillier, I mean, you know, from Syracuse, the guard that we picked up, I think he stepped in and did a really good job last week, you know, against the Ravens. So hopefully, you know, kind of mess with our offensive line a little bit and give Cap some time to throw the ball and a lot of things to get open. Anquan Boldin had a great game last week. You know, Torrey Smith and Anquan told the press that, hey, you know, Shareece Wright was playing, so we know his weaknesses, so we're going to attack him. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty good. But, you know, at the same time, he burnt, you know, Torrey Smith burnt him for a big gain and a touchdown, and Anquan kind of did the same thing. So, you know, hopefully we can use some of that energy to go into the Seattle game and make a big turnaround.
And Patton, too, broke his ankles on a move.
That was awesome.
I can't get enough of that. It's 3, 2, 1, as Patrick says. 3.
Niners!
Niner fam, you already know Nas. Nas, hello, and how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Scared, and frightened, and worried. We have that part of the season. As this is the season, this is part of the season we have all been waiting for. The other games, okay, it's football season, we need to play them. But this is the game. The Mayweather-Pacquiao fight means nothing. The World Series, none of that means nothing when it comes to this particular time for 49er fans. That's why, as I say, all the emotions tied up in all of this, what we went through since last season's end, are we ready for this game? Can we do it? Can we stop the Hawks?
We've been ready for this game before this game was even scheduled for us to be ready for. I think we can. I think we're at a really good point. I think that we're starting to click. I think the vibe is starting to act as a glue. Everybody's starting to come together now. And it's what better time than now?
And true. I'll tell you, if I could wait 3 more weeks for this game, but we have been 3 more weeks, so no matter what happens today, we'll be a different team now than we are then. So yeah, it's just a paranoia. I do not want to lose to these people again.
Yeah, that's what took me so long to even figure out if I was going to this game, because I had to seriously ask myself, can I deal with seeing them lose to the Seahawks in person again?
Ow.
And, you know, because I was at last year's Thanksgiving game, and that one I'm still traumatized from, but I was like, no, we can do this. We're going to do this. No, we've been saying since the offseason that we were going to win this game. It didn't matter. We were like, if we lose everything else, we're still going to beat Seattle at home. We're just going to do it. So there's no question.
It's the will of the empire. We got it made. Now, as Russell Wilson has no offensive line, it's been a track meet for him each and every game. Now, I made a list. Russell's going to run out of that pocket all game long. Because I'm thinking now, this is to our advantage because everybody else had a quick release. We've seen Manning, his release is lightning quick. Last week, he cut us up it was like a hot knife going through butter. Roethlisberger, another quick release. Also, in St. Louis and Arizona, same situation. They were bombing us like crazy. I'm thinking he's going to be running. Who do you think is going to drop Russell the most? And I made a list of guys: NaVorro Bowman, Aaron Lynch, Ahmad Brooks, Wilhoite, others. Who is going to grab his tender little body and slam it to the ground most often?
I'm going to have to go with Marshawn Lynch, just running into him, Tweedledee, Tweedledum type of thing. So that's who I'm going with to actually probably cause the most problems for him. But no, I'm going with Aaron Lynch. I've seen some of his posts since the off season. Ooh. And it's been building. He pretty much called out Russell Wilson in the off season and was like, no, it's really going down. So I reminded him of that on one of his little fan pages on Instagram the other day. I've been following you since then. It was your hatred for the Seahawks, for Russell Wilson, that caught my attention. I was like, okay, we on this now. So I'm thinking he's going to come through because he said he was going to do it, and I believe him.
Good. I forgot all about that. In fact, somebody said the Seahawks have sent him a message in return. I didn't get the gist of that because I haven't found it. I just saw that in passing. But that's a good point. Aaron has already promised to hurt somebody in Seattle.
I don't think he's discriminating. I just anything in a Seattle jersey, but why not? Why not? So I keep saying I'd like to have his head served to me on a platter, and I'll be in section 125. Just bring it on over. It's okay. It doesn't matter, it could be a little messy from the blood. It's okay. I'm not scared.
Is this going to be a tight scoring game? Are we going to go down to the last quarter, 30 seconds to go, man? Because, it's going to be something we need to get used to since the last two games have been that way. We lost one, won one. But is this going to be a tight score? Do you see any domination taking place in this game?
Because it's a rivalry, everything we would use to gauge the game on, you got to throw out the window. It's just, you can never truly call it with a rivalry, So it's going to be one extreme or the other. It's either going to be a blowout or it's going to come down to the last seconds of the game. That's all I can say. I just don't see it being any other way.
Yeah. Any prediction on the score?
Niners are winning. That's the only prediction I'm making.
Naz, can you give me the holla before you leave? At a 3, 2, and 1.
Niners!
She's getting ready for her attendance on Thursday night.
I am.
Thank you, Naz. Patrick, always a pleasure to talk to you. But you guys know your football. I just love it so. I'm not giving my prediction yet. A low-scoring affair. Turnovers. Whoever wins the battle of turnovers will win this game. I'm talking about third downs, INTs. Anything that gives the ball back to the other team is going to win this game. And also the X Factor. I'm talking about the primetime Kaepernick. Definition, the best NFL quarterback after dark in the league. Kaepernick, man, you know what I see with Kaepernick? He's not going to walk through the tunnel with everybody else. Kaepernick is going to come flying in as everyone at Levi Stadium looks up. What is that? Whoa. Cap comes in. It's a 3-point landing. He looks up, stands. The crowd goes wild. Cap takes off his cape, hands it to the ball boy, walks over to the huddle. Serious. He walks over to the huddle, looks at his boys, says, "All right, guys, let's do this." Niners win 16-10. Just like that. And there will be an online, I'm talking about huge celebration from beating the Hawks. Are you serious? This is your invitation. I mean, I'm talking about putting you live on the air with all those emotions and feelings you're gonna be having. You'll be talking to the Niner Empire, and I'm talking, that's your invitation for the info to join and the links you're gonna need. Go to Facebook, Ronbo Sports fan page. That's Facebook, Ronbo Sports fan page. Meanwhile, I'll see you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We can talk about this and see if we can calm ourselves down before this game. I'm telling you right now, I've already lost a little sleep over this. We gotta beat the Hawks. Almost lost myself. All right, remember to subscribe so when I come looking for you, you'll hear me knocking. I always love that part. All right, countdown dude, come and get me, man. I'm losing it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.